From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big night and a big week like none other. The biggest week we're going to see of the entire summer, with data coming in day after day, hour by hour. We'll go over the latest breaking news on that front tonight. Plus, the labor numbers coming in on Thursday expected to go higher. I'm expecting a 260,000 new unemployment read coming on Thursday. We'll go over the latest details you need to know across the board. Plus, why your benefits are going up so much. The great news, huge news, biggest lift of a generation coming up later in this recording. But this, my friends, is why you need to get a forced stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. In this recording, we're going to go over these incredible forced stimulus checks done by executive action from Joseph Biden in the month of March. You qualify about $100,000. It's a huge sum of money, and you go get it. Stay in the second half of this video, go onto this video, join the channel, and get these incredible checks. We'll be going over these in detail later in this recording. Plus, great news is 2 new viewers got massive payouts. 18 months of checks, 3 to 5 checks a month. These viewers who are getting 60+ checks from this channel. It's all breaking news tonight. We'll go over the latest details across that board. Plus, we'll be looking at the other data that we're looking at across this land that is so important for you, namely what is going on with that inflation. We'll be looking at the earnings recession that came in with new data today, what's going on that earnings front, and we'll be looking at why, as inflation continues to track higher, then guess what? Your benefits go higher. We'll be looking at the earnings recessionary numbers, and we'll also be looking at what could be happening with inflation and why it's likely to track higher, why that's going to raise your benefits a lot of money in tonight's recording. Plus, we'll be looking back at this week that is. So much data this week. When the Federal Reserve reports, the labor reports, numbers come out on Thursday, and we're likely to learn whether we're in a recession this Thursday. Boy, folks, I don't think I've ever seen a recording like this or a week like this. We're going to go over how to get these great sums of money. Step 1, go under this video, become a member. Step 2, stay the second half. And step 3, get set back, because the biggest show of the biggest night of the week starts right now as Evenings LA gets underway. And good evening, everybody. It's a big night with a big week upon us. We've never seen a week like this, whether you're an analyst here or whether you're an analyst somewhere else. Everyone's agreeing this is the biggest week of the entire summer. Nothing like this we have ever seen in the history of this recordings. Why? This is a jaw-dropper of a week. We have corporate earnings that give us an indication about a recession. We have labor releasing those shocking numbers for unemployment claims on Thursday. We have the Federal Reserve speaking on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we have the major announcement potentially about a recession coming this Thursday. Plus, we have the latest details on the Build Back Better Act and a lot more. Let's go over what we should anticipate this week. First, on Monday today, we had Square, Base, and Nippon Gold Mining reporting earnings. I'll have the latest details on that later in this recording. And then tomorrow, the biggest companies of the United States start reporting. Google and Microsoft, McDonald's, 3M report corporate earnings. And then in the early part of tomorrow, Tuesday, we start to get the housing data. Housing data at 9 a.m., 10 o'clock. This is all Eastern Standard Time. Consumer confidence at 10 a.m. I'm confident the confidence numbers are going to be released on Wednesday. Oh, boy, we're back with Facebook and Boeing. And then, here we go. Comedy hour. Stand-up routine? Yes. Jay Powell? Oh, absolutely. Same thing. Jay Powell has the announcement of the FOMC minutes on this Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then he addresses the American public on 2:30. The consensus so far is that Jay Powell and the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates for the July FOMC meeting on Wednesday, 2 p.m., 75 basis points. The 100 is really fallen by the wayside, so no one's really thinking about 100 anymore. Then on Thursday, this is the shocker. This is when Department of Labor is likely, but we'll analyze this in a second, to announce you have now had 2 consecutive negative quarters of GDP growth. You are in recession. Meantime, also on Thursday morning, we have the latest numbers on unemployment. We'll be looking at those in a second. And then on Friday, this is a big one Friday. Why? The personal income expenditure number, the PCIE, which is an inflation number, it's the Federal Reserve's preferred number, and that usually tells us what's happening with the CPI weeks later, is released at 8:30 a.m. Wow. Folks, if there was ever a day to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state, you want to get them right now. You want to get these incredible monies right now, because if this economy turns south this week, if the announcement this week is that this economy has gotten weaker, then millions of Americans are going to be looking for those incredible checks. Become a member. Go right in this video. Join this channel. Join this channel right now and get these huge sums of checks. We're going to go over each of these incredible checks, about $100,000, later in this recording. Let's start first with what happens with that labor number on Thursday. That labor number on Thursday is expected to soar. What happened? It has gone from 180,000 new jobless claims per week to 200, 230. I projected 230. It happened. Then it surged to 251 last week. What am I projecting for Thursday numbers? I'm projecting 260,000 new jobless claims in America this Thursday. Last week was 251, highest number since November of 2021. So the highest number of this year. Meantime, let's jump over to the recession. Recession manifests itself in different ways. First, in unemployment numbers come this Thursday, and also in earnings. The earnings are perhaps the best indicator. And we look at them in the Q2 corporate earnings being released this week. What did we see last week? We saw where certain industries were really badly hurt by this recession, and others didn't even feel anything. Last Friday, we had social media taking a bath, with Twitter and Snap down dramatically. And at the same time, the pharmaceutical companies way up. So on that earnings recession today, what do we have so far at the time of this broadcast, taped mid-late on Monday, July 25th? We have Newmont Mining, which was down 3.3% in pre-market trading, as it was a miss on the bottom and miss on the top. Top is revenue, bottom is net profit. Miss means weaker, not meeting the benchmark of Wall Street, and beat means better than Wall Street expected. Squarespace also reported, and it tumbled 14.4%, ouch, in the pre-market trading. Missed on high and beat on low. Really shocking across the board. And Ryanair, that discount airline that you may use overseas, jumped in pre-market 5.7%, beat on top and beat on bottom. So there you go. That's sort of what's going on here. That confusion of where some businesses are really beating on top and bottom and missing on top and bottom. Now, the great news for you is that inflation continues to track higher. As it continues to track higher, your benefits are going up. The biggest amount of a generation, $5,000. Oh, baby. Let's look and see what's going on this front right now. This is the news you've always wanted. This is the news we've been covering for a while. And then this is the news that's reality. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, all of it. Your benefits are going up a lot. How much? Approximately $5,000 more per year, a lifetime, dependent upon a series of months. First, we're going to go over why this is happening. Then we'll go over what we're looking for. And then we'll go over the actual calculation. First, we have to look at why it's going up. It's going up because of inflation. Inflation in the U.S. economy is at the all-time high of a generation. That May CPI was at 8.6%. What happened? The June number released just weeks ago came in at 9.1%. This is a major beat, and this lifts your benefits dramatically across the board. This was 2 weeks ago, and what happened? On a Wednesday, the CPI beat. On Thursday, the PPI beat. And on Friday, the retail sales numbers beat. All right, let's go over the inflation part of it. Then we'll go over your benefits, and then we'll go over the calculation. We got great stuff tonight, folks. First, on the inflationary front, 2 Wednesdays ago, it was July 13th, the Consumer Price Index, CPI, was released. This is the most understood term for inflation understood by the American people. It was a year ago, you would not know what a CPI was. You would look at it and say, what is that? Is that a bacon, lettuce, tomatoes? It's like CPI. Is that a special sandwich? It is cottage cheese. Now Americans know what a CPI is because they know about inflation. They're tracking inflation. And what happened? It was the highest number since 1981. Ouch. The May read was 8.6%, and the read for June that was released 2 Wednesdays ago on July 13th, it went to 9.1%. Highest raise since 1981, meaning that inflation has not peaked, meaning it's still going up. Everyone understood that because Americans know what the CPI is now. They're watching inflation like you are. Then the next day came in with the PPI. This is the other brother to the CPI, lesser known. This is the wholesale number, what the wholesalers are paying for the product, the producer price index, and that rose on July 14th for the month of June to 11.3% year to date. Near the all-time record ever reported of 11.6% posted in March of 2022. Then, on Friday, came the retail sales number. Higher than expected, rose 1% for the month of June, meaning that the good you bought in the store, the one product you bought in the store, was priced higher than the prior month. Doesn't mean you're spending and buying 3 products instead of 1. It means that one product you bought is now more expensive than the month before. 3 numbers, 3 different days, 3 different benchmarks, all show the same thing. Inflation has not gone down. This is big news for you because your benefits are going up a lot because your benefits are tied to inflation in part, and we're going to go over that calculation starting right now. How does this work and why your benefits are going up? Your benefits are tied to this inflation, and yes, they're going to go up. SSA, SSI, SSDI, VA, and more. If 3 more months of that data continues to track higher, your benefits are going up. How much? About $5,000. Wow, this is incredible, great news. Now, with that, let's explain why and how this is happening, and then we'll go over the calculation together in this recording. First, your benefits are tied to something called COLA, cost of living adjustment. And that number is determined by another number, CPI-W. Yes, a subsection of the CPI, which we just went over, which we understand is inflation. The CPI-W determines COLA, but not the whole year of data. Nope, only 3 months. This month, July's CPI-W, August, and the September CPI-W. All of those are released a month later because they're not released until the month is over. So the CPI for -W for this month, released next, August, released in September, and September released in October. Now, what you and I have to hope for is that your inflationary rate right now stays where it is, or goes a little bit higher, but doesn't go down dramatically in the next 3 months, because if it does, your benefits are going up the most of your entire lifetime. Oh, that feels incredible. This is SS200. This is SS300. This is everything you've ever hoped for. The reality of what we have talked about on this channel for 2 years is happening. Do you feel the excitement? You should. Now let's go over the calculation. First, is it automatic? Yes. You don't have to do anything. This big, massive lift of your benefits comes automatically to you, otherwise in the mail or by direct deposit. This is the stimulus you've always wanted. It's happening. Number 2. Everyone, yes, if you're on any benefits and if you're on multiple benefits, same thing. SSI, SSDI, SSA, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, VA benefits, all of you. Number 3, everyone getting $5,000 a year? No, it depends on the person. So some people will get more than a $5,000 add-on, additional $5,000. Some will get less than $5,000 additional. Some will get right on the money. So then how much are your benefits going up? Everyone's benefits are going up by the same percentage. And that percentage is going to be determined by those 3 months of numbers released in these next 3 months. It's likely to be at least 9%, but it could be upwards of 11 or 12. Could be higher because we're not seeing the peak of inflation. I can't tell you how high inflation's going. And we already know it's not going down dramatically. Incredible. There you go. So 3 months of data. That's why you have to watch this channel, because you've got to know where that inflation is to know how much your benefits are going up. And this, my friends, is why you want to become a member of this channel. Go right on this video and become a member. All this is detailed in the membership newsletter. All this raise of your benefits is detailed there, how this calculates out. We have it in the worksheets, how it calculates out the raise of your benefits. It's the value that you get when you're a member. Become a member. Join this channel under this video right now. The other major story we're working on tonight, of course, is not only all this, but also what's happening in the housing market. The housing market will release a lot of data. That's tomorrow. have it live on air on mornings. Data coming in for the housing tomorrow is robust, and it starts early in the day. The housing data starting early tomorrow is a series of 3 numbers. First, we have the Case-Shiller home sales at 9 a.m. At the same time, the FHFA home prices, and at 10 a.m., the new home sales, consumer confidence minutes thereafter. Pending home sales are Wednesday at 10 a.m. Here's what's going on with the numbers last week, and those 3 numbers you're seeing on the screen right there. Monday, housing starts beat. Existing home sales beat, or I should call it miss, really. It's because it's weaker than expected. And then the number after that missed as well. All right, let's go over that data. It started on July 18th, that Monday, a week ago today, the National Association of Home Builders Housing Market release, also by Wells Fargo. It's been around 37 years. It's a consumer confidence number. It's the home builder's confidence when they're building the home. And what happened? The number released last Monday, a week ago today, was the second worst drop of confidence among home builders in the 37 years history of the tracking tool. Wow. The only thing that has been worse was the start of the pandemic when it dropped 40 points to 30. Yes, last Monday's number dropped 12 points to 55. The reaction, let me tell you what. Robert Dietz, an NAHB chief economist, said affordability is the greatest challenge facing the housing market. Significant segments of home builders are priced out of the market. They can't afford it. The mortgage applications are down to a 22-year low because no one can afford these mortgage rates because the interest rates are going through the roof. The day after that, July 19th, which was last Tuesday, the number of new housing starts, this is new construction, was released, and they were looking for a 2% raise, specifically 1.4%. The Wall Street analysts, and it came in at a drop of 2%. Oh boy, that's a miss. That's a major miss. Home builders need to adjust rapidly to the world of fewer builders, says Pantheon macroeconomist Ian Shepardson. They're not pivoting, and they're getting burnt. And then on Wednesday, July 20th, last week, we had the June home sales, this existing home sales, fell 5.4% from the month of May. It's the most significant drop since 2020. It's clear due to plunge in affordability since Lawrence Yun. We've never seen mortgage rates shoot up this fast. People can't afford it. There you go. This week, we get the housing data starting tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So obviously, I will be on air on mornings live to have for you that data across the board. This, my friends, is why you have to get these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. These are done by executive action from Joseph Biden in the month of March, and they're huge. And viewers, you're going to see 2 viewers tonight who absolutely have been cleaning up. They aren't cleaning up with $400 or $5,000. No, they're cleaning up with tens of thousands of dollars. The success stories on this channel have absolutely taken off astronomically. No one is getting $200 checks here. Everyone is, the people who are doing this are doing it big and bold. Go under this video, become a member. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Join this channel and stay the second half as we go over all these incredible checks and learn about 2 new success stories where viewers are absolutely cleaning up on these big sums of money. Let's look and see how this money works with an overview first, starting right now. What are these checks? Where do they come from? How do they work? What's at issue? Let's get a preview of all that money starting right now. This money became a law in the month of March by executive action from Joseph Biden. Huge sums of money. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, go get it. How do you get it? Become a member. Go under this video and join the channel. Become part of LALATE, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, expanding to number 2. Massive expansion of this channel underway. We'll go over that expansion later in this recording. Let's go over more about those checks right now. These were done in the month of March by Joseph Biden. Executive action, federal stimulus, not state stimulus, in every U.S. state. How much? A series of checks that add up to a whopping approximate $100,000. Biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. We're going to go over how to get these incredible sums of money later in this recording. Massive sums of money, plus we're going to see new details about Check C and Check B we've never seen before in the second half. It's all breaking news tonight. Passing the month of March is executive action from Joseph Biden. We're going to look at all those incredible checks in the big second half. And then we'll be going over that incredible newsletter as well in that big second half. Become a member, go right in this video and join the channel. One of the benefits of becoming a member is the LALATE worksheets. These LALATE worksheets have really helped 2 viewers in this last few days since Thursday of last week. Clean up. Clean up. And when I mean clean up, I don't mean 1 check for $200 or 2 checks for $15. I mean 18 checks. No, 60 checks over 18 months. What's going on, LALATE? This is the magic of you, the Purple Power community, the membership of this channel, the magic of LALATE. Let's look at these incredible worksheets. These incredible worksheets are part of the newsletter. It's a free member benefit for you as a member when you become a member of this channel. In the newsletter, down under the 5th line, approximately 3rd or 5th line, is this worksheet. You pass the price of gasoline, international Brent crude, domestic, the price of wheat and corn in the newsletter. Below all that data, to lead at the top is this. It's a PDF. You open it on your phone, open it on your computer. You print it from the phone or take notes on a separate piece of paper. It's 8 pages approximately. Let's go over the first page. The first page is inflation. What are we looking at and what do we know tonight about inflation? First, we have that Friday data. The PCIe everyone is talking about. Everyone tonight, all the analysts are talking about this Friday data. Why? The PCIe is so reliable. It really is for inflation. And it comes staggered between the CPI numbers. So the CPI number, was just released 2 weeks ago. So we got another 2 more weeks till we get the next CPI for the month of July. It'll come in early August. So before that, we get the PCIe. It's very reliable. It's likely to give you guidance. And why is that important for you? Because your benefits are going to go up a lot based upon that inflation. Recession. Okay, let me go over the shocker of a story tonight. This is breaking news just minutes ago. I teased a little bit earlier today on afternoons and mornings. A recession is defined as 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, 2 negative consecutive quarters. So it's 6 months consistent of negative GDP growth. And GDP is announced in a quarterly basis. So 3 months announced, 3 months announced. So it'll be 2 consecutive quarters, 6 months. The first quarter has already been negative. We already know that. It was announced earlier this year. Some of the analysts tonight, really more detail than they've ever done before, are now saying, well, that first quarter may be a disputed number. Why? Because they say it was seasonally adjusted. There was an inventory problem. So they say that first number is a little bit disputed, that it's not so clean a number. It is still a negative number. The number coming out this Thursday is supposed to mirror what the Atlanta Fed GDP Now told us 2 weeks ago. Who are they? The Atlanta Fed GDP Now is a subsection of the Federal Reserve, and they have a live tracking tool. They're not delayed. It's live. As soon as the month June ended, we were done with 6 months. They announced that second quarter was negative GDP growth. That was their data. They have a 20, 30-year track record of 100% accuracy. So they're always right. So what started happening over the weekend? I mentioned it earlier today. I had to sort of, look at my face like this. And tonight is even more. What? As of tonight's broadcast, there's starting to be more and more analysts on Wall Street saying that the Thursday morning announcement from Department of Labor will say that the second quarter was not negative GDP growth. I have no idea where they're getting this from, folks. I put my hands up. I have no idea where in their analysis they're getting it from. I got to tell you, there's nothing that indicates that it was negative, that it was not negative GDP growth, that was positive GDP growth. The Atlanta Fed was negative. All the indications of recession are there. The yield curve is inverted, which is the 2 and the 10-year note. So I have no idea where they're getting this analysis from. Usually they tell you, based upon this, I'm now saying it's going to be a positive quarter of GDP growth. I don't know, but that would be fascinating because if it's positive, then we're not in a recession yet because that would mean the last quarter was negative and this quarter is positive. That's why you got to watch this channel on Thursday morning. I mean, this is a shocker. It's like a nail biter. It's like they changed the plot line of the movie at the very last second before it hit the movie theaters. All right, the next thing that is important to know is that labor number. The labor number. That's the third line down on that first page of the worksheet. The labor number being released this week is coming off of last week's news. 251,000 new jobless claims. and I'm projecting it's going to 260. It's a horrible labor number. It's 251 was the worst number since November 2021. If it goes to 260, it's going to be even worse. Federal Reserve. Jay Powell's meeting with the Federal Reserve governors tomorrow, and that announcement's coming at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He's speaking 2:30. Most analysts are now believing it's a 75 basis point increase. I agree. I think the 100 is no longer seen as a viable option at the moment. The next page of the worksheets brings us to the huge shocker of news tonight. It's a table. It's a table. This is all created by LALATE. This is all unique proprietary stuff of LALATE created for you. It's a table to keep track of all your money for stimulus. And it's check A, check B, when you apply, dates of payment, and amount. Well, here you go. This is where it gets really exciting. We have 2 viewers tonight who, in less than 4 days, have gotten astronomical payouts. First, oh God, I think I'm going to pronounce his name wrong again. I'm really sorry. Like I'll make sure I'm going to pronounce it right tomorrow. Spewy or Speedy. It's a hard name to pronounce. My apologies. He applied for check A and got multiple checks. He also applied for check C and got multiple checks. And this worksheet was part of the equation. Becoming a member, it was absolutely incredible for him. Another viewer last Thursday, she's in Florida. She was using the worksheet. She was keeping track that she applied for check B. She did not look at the worksheet for several weeks, so she forgot what she had done. She, of course, took notes about it, thank goodness. Well, she got an email last Thursday. An email about check B. And she had applied for mortgage and all her utilities. Guess what? She got them all paid. Incredible. Let me tell you how much money she got. She got her mortgage paid for 18 months. 18 months of her mortgage paid? That is not $10,000, folks. That is tens of thousands of dollars. Then she applied for all her utilities. So that has to be about 5 checks. Let's do the math. 5 checks for 18 months is not 50 checks. That is pushing upwards of 80 to 90 checks she got as a member from this channel. That is not MSC. That is MSC on caffeine shots. That is absolutely incredible. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to Speedy. Congratulations to the viewer who, at the very end of LA Live this morning, was jumping the live chat just as the feed was ending, and she said she got 4 utilities and 1 rent bill, but she didn't say how many months of the rent was. Incredible. She said she got 6 checks from this channel in the last few days. Incredible. Congratulations. If you guys necessarily post in the live chat. Now, guess what I said to both of those 2 viewers that got the check A and the check B? Go read more checks. That's what I said. Of course, that's how you do it. So here's an example. Let's say for the person who got the 18 months of checks, let's say she got checks from, for example, from now, July forward for water. Go get water from January to June from someone else because you can. That's what the benefit of becoming a member is. The next stage of the worksheets is the raise of your benefits. That's why we're watching that. That's why we're watching that inflationary number. You can calculate out your data across the board. Then we have gasoline and student loan debt forgiveness. Let's go for gasoline. We have 2 numbers for gasoline. They're both in the membership newsletter. International price of Brent crude going higher. It had gone to 120 at the worst time when Putin was invading Ukraine, and then it pulled back in recent weeks to about 98. It's pushing back up to 110, so it's almost 3/4 of the way to its all-time high. U.S. unleaded AAA national average has pulled back and is really only about 20 cents over what it was before Putin invaded Ukraine. So why are the 2 numbers going 2 different directions? The number in the United States is trading down because the oil traders say they're trading it down based upon their guesstimate that a recession would slow demand for gasoline in the United States. It's a temporary situation. The White House's transportation secretary says it's because of the president's domestic policy on gasoline. That's not true. I'll explain that more in this recording. Then student loan debt forgiveness. The president is set to announce that student loan debt forgiveness. I know I keep on saying set to announce, but he does have COVID. I've always said he was going to do it in person with a whole signature group of senators and House members. $10,000 for individuals who make $150,000 or less. This follows the other prior forgivenesses. Individuals who went to work in the nonprofit or public sector after graduation, people who who became disabled after graduation, and people who are defrauded by their university. This, my friends, is why you want to become a member. In this big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks. You deserve them. And we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. Plus, we'll be looking at the latest details on the Build Back Better Act and its potential to be split into two bills. Then I'll have my commentary on what's going on with the White House and economic, and the latest details on that confusion, where some people say the Thursday number may be a positive GDP number. Wow, what a week it is. We're just getting started. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds, but first become a member. I'll see you back in the second half as America's most watched show in primetime continues its evenings, LA. See you back in 60 seconds as the excitement from the shores of Santa Monica, California, continues tonight.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now in a big second half of a gorgeous night here along the coast. It's cooled down considerably here in Santa Monica. How's the weather where you are? I'm shocked how much it's cooled down. I'm loving it so far, but I know it's going to heat up later in this week. It's going to heat up because there's more stimulus checks landing in your hands, and we're going to go over all those incredible checks. Go on to this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Join the channel. You're watching LALATE, and boy, are you in store for a lot of surprises. You're watching the #3 most watched financial news channel in America among broadcast TV, cable, and streaming, but guess what? We're after that #2 position, and major expansion is underway here with LALATE. Launched in March 25th, 2020 as one channel, LALATE will now be 3 channels. 2 new channels are joining this family in the next 14 days. On LALATE 2, you'll have a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week live show about your stimulus. And then you'll have tape shows, including your humor, from Sirloin, Javita Lane, and Blaine 66, all back, your favorite humor personalities. On LALATE 3, you'll have The Economy, 24 hours a day in a live show. Wall Street, the economy, recession, unemployment, stimulus, and also housing. Plus, you'll have brand new shows about cooking. Meantime, have you watched the 2 new changes that happened last week? They're exciting. LALATE Live on this channel is now a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week show. Live feed updated on the hour, by the hour, and the other excitement, the site that started it all nearly 20 years ago, LALATE.com, redesigned with the latest update about your money in breaking news stories. All right, let's go over those incredible big checks starting right now. 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. What's going on? Back in the month of March, viewers said, LA, can you find me some checks? Build Back Better Act was not getting done. And I said, let me look. And I found them. As soon as I looked, they were actually happening that day. Series of checks being done by Joseph Biden by executive action. 2 of the focuses by me were achieved. 1, I want to make sure they're big checks, monster checks, because this is going to be a potentially very big recession. The financial cliff is going to be very severe, and I want you to be able to financially afford this with big checks. We got them. Approximately $100,000. Second, I wanted broad eligibility. The more viewers that can qualify, the better. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you're on benefits, go get it. And with that, let's go over all these incredible checks. Hopefully you became a member during the commercial break. We're going to go over each of these incredible checks starting right now. I've given them a lettering system, and it starts at the front of the alphabet with check A. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you are on benefits, go get it. How do you get it? Go under this video, become a member. Then go down that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and go to where it says check A. Describes more about it. Click the link. It sends you into the nationwide website. Choose your state, and then you pounce the weatherizing grant check. Incredible. But you're not going to stop there yet? Nope. You're going to go get check B. $15,000 to $80,000 check. This incredible check B is wonderful. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI and SSDI, go get it. How do you get it? You know the routine. Number one, subscribe. Never forget to subscribe to this channel. Number two, become a member. Join the channel. Under the video, click the button where it says join and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcio VIP. Become part of the hundreds that join daily. Then go right down to see check B. Click the link. Go in and apply, and you're ready to rock and roll. Check B was gotten by that one viewer who got 18 months of 5 checks approximately per month. Yes, that's upwards of 80 checks she got from check B. That other viewer got check A. And that check A gave him lots of different wonderful checks. Now, do you notice what we've done already? Check A, 12. Check B, about 80. That's $100,000 right there. My goodness. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to go to check C. Check C is wonderful money. Included in there is rent, utilities, mortgages, and more. How do you get this? You know the routine. Subscribe. Go under this video, become a member, join the channel, and go right down to it says check C. It tells you where to apply, tells you where to call, what to say, and how to say it. When this channel launched for broadcasting on March 25th, 2020, we went right out the gate, starting getting people money. And to this date, this viewership of this channel has cleaned up. About $50 million viewers have gotten from this channel. A lot has been from check C. And if you want check C, let's look at some of the success stories, just a sampling, over those years. From Nisi all the way up to Elizabeth. Incredible. This is third stimulus and still around. That's what we call check C. But it's also called other things on the channel. Do you want this massive money for rent? Go get check C. Do you want this type of money for utilities? And Angela, Mark, Nancy, go get check C. Mark's brother-in-law's getting $15,000. And then for SNAP, that same brother-in-law's getting $250,000 over 10 years. Let's look at this type of money. Combinations. Incredible. Nisi was at $23,000. Now she's at $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. Now he's at $166,000. He went to this graphic, 50. Then he went to 100. Then he went to 166 with check B. And here's Lorraine. She was at 105. Now she's at 150. 150,000. Check C. A lot of viewers have gotten over 100,000. A lot of viewers have averaged about 45,000. Many viewers have gotten $2,000 a month over 12 months. What is the commonality among Lorraine, Johnny, Margaret, Nisi? One, they're in all the videos. They watch all the videos. They're in the live chat. You need to watch the videos. You can't disappear. I love you to death. You did a great job this last Saturday and Sunday. The biggest watched viewership on a weekend of this channel for a long time. And I got to tell you, on Saturday, I announced that this Thursday is when we see that GDP number. We'll determine whether we're in recession yet or not. That happened then. You can't miss it because it may not get repeated on this channel. Number two, they keep on getting checks. They get a check today. They get a check tomorrow. They keep on getting checks. Here's what you need to do. Number one, go into this video, subscribe. Subscribe to LALATE right now. Also jump over to LA2 and LA3 and subscribe there. Number two, go into this video, become a member. Join this channel, become a member, and get that incredible membership newsletter Monday through Friday. Number three, hit that little bell at the front of the channel so you make sure notifications are set to all on. You won't miss any notification about that newsletter. And let's jump into that newsletter right now. Let's look at it right as a family. Since this graphic launched about a week ago, I don't get many questions anymore about the newsletter because it is so simple across the board. That incredible newsletter is so straightforward. Let's go over the details. It's released Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It comes via the YouTube alerts. Those YouTube alerts will send you an alert like this for members only, new LA post, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And you go down the alert, past the guy with the surfboard to the very bottom where it says view the post, past that guy. And then it says view post, click the button, view post, and you're done. You're in the newsletter. It's as simple as that. You are ready to rock and roll. Want to see that again? Let's do that again. First, the important thing to remember is that you know your time zone. Sounds so simple, but it is very important. The LA newsletter is delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're not on the West Coast, know what time zone that is for you. East Coast, it's 10 o'clock Eastern. Central Standard Time, it's 9 Central. Delivered via the YouTube alerts, not the LALATE alerts, but the YouTube alerts. This is the YouTube alert. It's sent from YouTube. Title of the email alert says, for members only, new LA post. The body of the YouTube alert, first line says, LALATE newsletter today. Has 4 little mailbox emojis. So straightforward. Look at the time, 7 p.m. It's automated. It comes right on time. You go down in this alert. This is not the newsletter. This is the alert. Down past the guy with the surfboard. Lower, lower. Until you see the view post button. Click the view post button and you go in and you're ready to rock and roll. And there you go. You're on your way to financial independence. You deserve this money. Go get it right today. Become a member and go right in this video and get these incredible information and this incredible sums of money that has been lost since the month of March. Become a member right now to this incredible family. Now let's go over 2 things that are brand new tonight in regards to those check A's to C's. First, I want to make very clear to you that when I say check B, or I say check A, or I say check C, I'm not trying to say it's only one check by making it singular. It, in fact, in many cases, is plural. It's multiple checks. So, for example, in the case of check B, you saw that one viewer. She got 18 months of 5 checks approximately per month. She got mortgage and 4 utilities. That's 5 checks for 18 months. So let's do the math. 5 times 18. That's not 2 checks. That is a lot of checks. That's upwards of 80 check B's she got. Let's go over to check C. Check C is the easiest one to understand. You all have either rent or mortgage. So you have that rent or mortgage. Let's just call it the rent bill. Then you have probably anywhere from 3 to 4 utilities. You got the water, you got the electric, and you got something to heat. And you may have a telephone, and you may have 2 heating. So let's say it's about 5 total bills when we include the rent. 5 total bills. So how many 5 of those 5 total bills can you have opportunities to get check C's for? In the membership newsletter, you have 6 government agencies to reach out to, and you have about 6 nonprofits. 6 plus 6, that's 12 places to reach out to for check C's. When you have 5 bills per month, 5 times 12 is over 50 opportunities, almost 60 opportunities of where to get checks per month. That is incredible, and that is why this channel's winning. That's why you're going to do so well. Go right in this video and become a member. With that opportunity, you need to understand there's a lot of check C places. 12 times 5, that's 60 possible checks. And that's why for the people who even have the success story, I say, go get more checks across the board. Next, what's important to understand is that this is not the town of lobster shorts. The town of lobster shorts? Yes. Some people have been jumping the live chat saying, I'm from the town of lobster shorts. And I haven't heard that the town of lobster shorts is sending out a stimulus check. Well, congratulations. I don't report on the town of lobster shorts news. Nor do I report on the state of waivable checks. No, what is that state? What state is lobster shorts? Oh, it's a Kentucky. I don't report on Kentucky stimulus checks. This is not a state news channel. This is not a county of lobster shorts or city of lobster shorts news channel. This is a broadcast financial news channel. So the money I detail here is coming from the federal government, meaning it's available in the city of lobster shorts. It's just not coming from your mayor of Lobsterville. Yeah, what do they call him? Sir Lobster. I don't know what they call him. He serves every day with a side of tartar sauce. let's go into the other thing that's important happening tonight. And that is, of course, the shocker of a statement that came in from the White House about recession. The latest analysis from Wall Street execs and gurus about this Thursday number, and also what's happening with the Build Back Better 2 possible votes. First, I want to start with those analysts and Thursday's number. I got to tell you, I have no idea where they're getting this from. This Thursday, the Department of Labor is going to announce whether the second quarter of this U.S. economy, the second quarter, that's 3 months, posted a negative GDP growth, a negative GDP number. Atlanta Fed GDP Now already released their data as soon as we were done with that second quarter. Their track record is perfect. Over 30 plus years, they said it was negative. They didn't say it was right on the money. They said it was clearly negative. And yet it started happening last Friday where some analysts, more today, more just minutes before I went on air, say they're now projecting Thursday's announcement will be a positive GDP growth number. I don't know where they're getting this from. And for them to sort of outdo the Atlanta Fed GDP Now and say it's wrong, maybe they're right. Maybe it's a positive number. If it's a positive number, it does not mean we're never going to recession. It means we're not in a recession yet. But that's why we got to watch for Thursday. Next, the Build Back Better Act, really getting fascinating. The Build Back Better Act is one bill, but it could potentially become 2 bills. And this week, we're likely to see why. What's going on? The 2 negotiators are Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin. And they have negotiated this for several months. And they got a major agreement on prescription medication 2 weeks ago, featured on this channel. They sent it off to the Senate parliamentarian to determine whether the prescription medication provision can stay in there. She is in charge of determining whether it can stay or not stay in there and is ready to be called for a vote. And in doing that, Joe Manchin said, if you want to call the vote on what we've done. What we've done, I've agreed to, and I'm ready to support it and give a vote of yes. Call the vote in July. The only thing I'm not ready to vote on is the climate provision. You can leave that to September and do that as a second recon in September. Or you can leave it all together and leave it all to September. What's going on? I like Joe Manchin's idea, which is if you have one thing that's left over you haven't agreed upon, leave it for September. Chuck Schumer has enough recons saved up. I featured this a lot last year. He has a lot of recons saved up, so you could do a recon this July, and you could do another recon in September. I like the idea. Call the vote on the recon now and get it done. That incredible recon, what would stay in there and what would not stay in there, we don't have a lot of guidance because they haven't given us a lot of updates on the provisions one at a time. But we'll certainly watch them as we get closer. We can certainly go over quickly what the track record of Joe Manchin on these provisions are. It's about $15,000 to $80,000 in checks. $25,000 for the purchase of your first home. I think he would be in favor of that. $250 billion of free home health care. He has already agreed to the medication issues, so it makes sense. The third cluster believes everything would stay. Dental, vision, hearing, lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. The first provision has to pay 1 more year. CTC, the nutrition, home repairs, that all likely stays. The $12,500 for a new electric vehicle, that would come out because that's climate. The second cluster, everything would come out because paid leave he's against, and the home repairs is already check A. And there you go. The likelihood of other checks like an MSC on top of that is dependent upon how big the Build Back Better Act is and how much it is not. We really don't know at the moment tonight. This is where I also want to go over an important factor that came in this morning, started last week, and continues to arouse tonight. What's at issue? The word is recession. The word is recession. And the word recession is a defined economic term. What is a recession? A recession is defined as 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. That is the economic term. So what happened starting this morning? Your Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, appeared on broadcast news and she said, recession is not always defined that way. Excuse me? There's only one definition for recession. If you don't like your recession and you're the administration control, well, do what I do, which is say, hey, maybe we are in a recession, maybe we aren't. We'll see the Thursday number, but the recession is not equally felt. Some places not even affecting anything. We saw the pharmaceutical companies last Friday. Nothing. They're in great shape. And then we saw today that the airline Ryanair was in great shape, but we also saw two companies really miss dramatically. So why try to say the definition is not the correct definition when you're the party in control and suddenly you don't like what's going on with your economic results? We saw this during Mitch McConnell's tenure during the Trump administration, when he said the economy is doing really well and we're in the middle of a pandemic. We saw Senator Brady, who is a Republican, who said, labor, just get back to work. There's these lazy people. We don't like when people take economic data that's indisputable and try to spin it. And here's the problem tonight, is that Janet Yellen's basically telling you that she has another definition for recession. Folks, there's only one definition for recession: 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. If you have it, you're in a recession. But we can also say the recession is not equally felt in other parts of all parts of the country. Certain industries are not in recession. That's fine. But don't say the definition's wrong. It's the same definition we've used for 50 years. Does it sound familiar? It does sound familiar. It happened 2 weeks ago when someone else did it as well. Who was it? Her boss, Joe Biden. He said that the CPI is not a reliable number. Wait a second. The CPI is a benchmark that's released by the federal government for many presidential administrations. It's an inflationary number. It's not a partisan number. It's not a Republican. It's not a Democrat. You can't start taking indisputable numbers like PPI, CPI, PCIE, and recession, labor, unemployment claims, and suddenly say they're wrong. If you do that and you're in the party control, then guess what the American people do? They look at it and they may say, so which one is it? Confusion is what causes big problems. Here's an example. Janet Yellen this morning also said the labor market's really strong. This is where I got certainly angry on Afternoons LALATE. I wouldn't say angry, you know. You don't want to see me when I'm angry. I couldn't digest it one more time. 200,000 unemployment claims is not a strong labor market. We were that way 5 weeks ago. We should be 180. That's where we were when we came out of the pandemic. Then we went to 230. When we were at 230, I said everyone's going to say it's not a strong labor market anymore. Wall Street was still saying it was. Then when it went to 240, it changed. It specifically was very clear last Thursday. When it went to 251,000 caused Wall Street to say it's no longer a strong labor market. It's 250,000 new unemployment claims per week, folks. Well, what did she say this morning? It's a strong labor market. It's not a strong labor market. It's not a strong labor market, 251,000 new jobless claims. The CPI is a number. It's reliable. It's been released for 50 plus years. Recession only has one definition. And yet, when we determine what we're doing as an employee or an employer, a retiree or about to be retired, we're dependent upon the accuracy of the information that's being delivered to us. And if the party in control does not like the way the things are going, you can't have them suddenly start changing the definitions, because then we have no commonality of even what we're talking about. The CPI is the data that's released for the month before. Obviously, it's not live data. Is that unreliable? It's reliable. Why would someone say that something that's released from the month before, when all this data is released from the month before, is not reliable? Why say that 251,000 jobless claims new per week is great labor market numbers when it's the worst number since about November 2021? That's not good. And why change the definition of recession right before you're potentially going to get the announcement that there was a recession from the Department of Labor on Thursday? It's that type of stuff that doesn't matter if it's a Republican control or a Democratic control. It confuses the American people. Americans cannot be confused about their money. They cannot be confused about their benefits. They cannot be confused about their housing, their labor, all these issues, their debt, their interest. They can't be confused about these things. They need to be given data correctly, and when it's incorrect or when it's spun, it needs to be called out. And that's why LALATE works. LALATE is expanding dramatically to 3 channels where you can see more of this in depth. And if something's inaccurate, I will call it out. I don't care. If it's inaccurate, I will show you the accurate statement. I'll also give you both sides of the story so you can see and analyze it across the board and understand it. It's your money. You need to know the value of your money at any moment. You need to know all the data that determines what impacts your money. You need to see the data when it comes in, understand when it's going to release, and understand how different it was from the month before and the year before. We need data from different points. We need it from economic data with a CPI, PPI inflation. We need housing data that gives us guidance on that part of the economy. We need labor numbers like unemployment claims. We need information like corporate earnings, because if the businesses are making less money, they're going to lay people off. If they lay people off, it impacts you, whether you're a retiree or working. Doesn't matter. That is why this channel works. A commonality of great spirit and great success and great motivation and positive focus and thinking. Congratulations to those 2 viewers. Congratulations to that 3rd viewer, also in the morning's live show, who got these big sums of money. You deserve it as well. Post your success stories in the live chat. Jump in the live show. We have shows continuing throughout the night. Evenings are late every night at 5 o'clock. Evenings countdown at 6. Streams almost at 7. 8 o'clock is extra. 9 o'clock is sunset. And the shows continue throughout the night with LALATE Live airing 24/7. Then I'm back with you in the mornings at early mornings LALATE. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, pounce, Purple Hawks. Do what you do best. Get these big sums of money. You deserve them. Do them right now. Get these sums of money when they're there. And do not wait. Go right in this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. And from the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. I love you dearly. Welcome to all the new members. If you join during the live show, I'll give you a shout out in the live chat for brand new members. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, good evening, and stay with LA for more.